and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we're going to do a reading for Scorpio. Let's call in spirit with some wind chime time. So I feel like there's some maybe like manifestations or some seeds you planted months ago that maybe you kind of felt like weren't going to develop, but you're seeing now there's like a little bit of progress, or you might be surprised to see something pay off that you kind of had like written off. Scorpio, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I don't even know how accurate you guys find my little wind chime analyses, but I find it kind of fun. I think we're going to start off today with the situations deck, and we'll see what's going on there before we dive into the tarot. What do we have for Scorpio, please? Alright, so we've got soulmate and obsession. So I keep being drawn to the word friendship on the soulmate card, so I feel like what we're dealing with here for whomever I'm reading, there's some sort of strong connection that either started in friendship and then grew from there, or there was that weird like X-Files sexual tension where you like spend a lot of time together and everyone wondered if you were doing it, but you weren't. And I feel like there's some sort of almost like a revelation, like somebody didn't realize how similar you were, and when they did realize, I'm hearing the true value of that person, then some obsessive thoughts maybe started happening in terms of what can I do to, bring us together. Those donuts are making me hungry, and I don't even like donuts. Okay. Scorpio, you might have a surprise visit coming your way. I feel like we've had this a few times this year, but we've got somebody here who maybe doesn't feel like they'd get the answer they wanted if they, texted you and asked if you wanted to meet for coffee or lunch or something like that. So they might just, hey, I know where this person lives. I'm just gonna fucking swoop in. Hey, I was in the neighborhood. No, you weren't. Don't lie. But they want to get on the same page here. So if you're not the one plotting a surprise visit or considering one, then you may be the recipient of one. I feel like this person's really worried and nervous about how this conversation's going to go. They must have done something to upset you, if you resonate with the person who's going to get the visit. Because there really does seem to be some concern over whether or not you will want to have this conversation. They have tried to start a conversation, or maybe even like specifically tried to set up a time to talk to you, but for those of you who have an iPhone, those 3 little dots, I'm typing but I haven't sent anything yet. Yeah, that's what's going on. Literally, the keys on this typewriter are making me think of those 3 little dots. There's, I think, been silence for quite a while between these two people. You guys, I can't make this shit up. This is... I don't know if you can see how they fell. Oh, there's another one in there. Okay, so the way I saw this, you could see the words peeking out from the bottom, ghosted. And then on the top, what do we have? Access denied. sorry, access granted, but in the reverse, right? So access denied. So I feel like, and then in the middle, we have tragedy, forbidden love in the reverse. I feel like you guys have had a few rounds where something almost happened and then it didn't. Something almost happened and then it didn't. Something almost happened and then it didn't. I think somebody has tried to use fake profiles to spy or connect to get around blocks or ghosting or a fear of being caught by somebody else. But with tragedy and forbidden love in the reverse, I feel like from the outside it might look as if it's a tragedy or it might look as if it's forbidden. But if this conversation were to happen, I think it would really clear the air. And if there is an opportunity to make this work, then they would be able to figure that out, right? But until this conversation happens, how are you going to know if it's a tragedy? I guess it's automatically a tragedy then. So this obsession is clarified by that access granted card, and I feel like in the reverse. And I feel like there could have been a recent deletion of an account or block or something that made it harder for this person to get information, and it has made them go a little bit more crazy. We have pretending. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck because it took me a second to notice the subtle difference between the two shoes. Do you see it? One's pink, one's gray, or like beigey. I definitely think somebody was catfishing or using a fake profile. And I think the person who wasn't saw through it. I think there was something that was kind of obvious about how this person approached it. And I just now noticed there's some weird white powder in the foreground. I've never noticed that about this card. I feel like somebody may be dealing with an addiction. Well, if you're the person who wants to make this conversation happen, I have good news for you because it looks like the universe wants to make it happen as well. There's something ameliorative about this conversation happening. There's healing and validation that I think both these people need from this conversation, which is why Michael seems to be protecting this or finding a way to make sure that this happens in the right place in the right time. I also get the feeling that Michael is here because there are external parties that would like to keep these people from talking. We have roller coaster. If this person who used a fake profile was able to engage with their intended target, I think it was probably like doing drugs. This person was, probably both people were very, very excited to be engaging, but then there was also something that brought them back down to the reality. It was not a permanent high. It was a fleeting high. Probably because, of course, we're talking about a fake profile, right? So somebody was pretending. So we have karmic, clarifying tragedy and forbidden love. I think there was a karmic third party, so somebody was in a relationship here. That's probably why things didn't ever actually get off the ground. this third party did their damnedest to make sure that these two people didn't talk, and they could also still be trying to prevent that. But they tried to make it seem as though there was something forbidden about this potential connection, and they also tried to make themselves out to be a victim. So they might have done things like use their mental health, used the other person's mental health, used pets or children, whatever they could to use like guilt or manipulation to make this person feel like they had to stay with this karmic individual. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling the noisy ones. For those of you that are new to my channel, I think this is technically called like classic tarot, which is pretty lame. It doesn't actually do it justice because these cards are like holographic and super fucking rad. But I call them the noisy cards because they're super loud when I shuffle them. All right, what else do we have for Scorpio, please? Okay, so the other thing I'm noticing is that when I placed this ghosted card on the table, I placed it in reverse. It came out sideways, if you recall. It was kind of like a shape L over here. This blocked or ghosted situation is not going to last long. I mean, obviously we have a spontaneous visit that we're talking about, right? But I think we've got more than that going on. So we've got the Lovers and Judgment. Both of these are in the reverse. I think the fracture, or at least one person's motivation for putting in a block or ghosting the other person, was because with the Lovers in the reverse, we have a situation where somebody refused to make a decision. And Judgment in the reverse, right? Pertaining to love. And I think in addition, because this is clarifying the access granted card with the fake profile, I think part of why we have a ghosted or no contact situation right now is because the person who did not have a fake profile, this person has clued into what kind of person would do that to me. Why do I want to engage with somebody who can't communicate like directly and honestly, right? Like, why do you have to, like, you already fucking know me. And so that may have led to the most recent or the most final of ghostings. We have the Hierophant in reverse. This card can communicate God, conventional beliefs, and it can also be marriage. I think there was a relationship with this karmic individual, and I think this karmic was really geared towards making this individual hers. I kind of get that it's a female. Really wanted that ring, right? This person was living beyond their means. This person was presenting themselves to be something they're not. This person did not have a close connection with God or spirituality. This person used those tenets or beliefs against people to manipulate them. This person was adept at gaining access, whether or not that means manipulating people emotionally to get them to tell them things that they could later use against those people, perhaps even for blackmail, or gain access to information without the person's permission. This person could have access to a record system that they're not supposed to be using for what they're using it for. The truth will out. If they haven't been caught, they will be eventually. This is somebody who has done this sort of thing multiple times. I think at least 3 times they have targeted somebody based off of their mental health, sought to worsen their situation or make them dependent upon this female. And then she would take what she wanted from this person. What a peach. If you're watching, maybe you should invest in yourself instead of trying to take from other people. We have 10 of Wands in the reverse, 7 of Wands, and 10 of Cups. There is protection and, Michael's here because this 10 of Wands is a heavy burden that I believe both people have had to deal with, and Michael would like both of these individuals to put down those burdens because there is work or callings that both of these individuals need to be, focused on. 7 of Wands, I mean, we were just talking about protection, right? It can be about protection, but I think honestly what we really have is somebody who was feeling defensive here. I think this masculine has felt defensive against this karmic female. I think this masculine has felt defensive against the non-karmic feminine in terms of, like, yeah, I did it the wrong way, but if you'd listen to me, I could explain why I had to do it that way. Like, I feel like there's something here about the masculine feeling like he's trying, he just doesn't really know how to do it the right way because he doesn't have a good example of that. He wants to find his 10 of Cups. He wants that happily ever after, that, really strong connection where you have support in a romantic relationship. He may already have kids or want to have kids with this feminine that he's obsessed with. But I think both individuals are feeling pretty defensive right now because of the confusion, ambiguity, and like low-level combat and competition that has happened in this community. There's a lot of gossip, so we might see the 5 of Wands come out. So we have the High Priestess in the reverse. Somebody was ignoring their intuition here in terms of knowing that they should have chosen this feminine energy over the karmic that they did choose, but they ended up choosing this other karmic because, partially because this karmic was able to camouflage herself as a more benevolent force, but also because this masculine viewed the alternative as more work. Little did he know that was actually the path of less work. Now we have the Chariot in the reverse. This is clarifying judgment. Even though this masculine has figured out that this feminine is his match and he has an obsession, has been, like, looking to see what she's up to, wondering if she's dating anyone, there hasn't been any movement. There hasn't been any, knight in shining armor coming in to say, hey, I think you're rad. None of that. Crickets. But there's something here. We have the 5 of Cups in the reverse. I'm happy to see it in the reverse because 5 of Cups is all about spending too much time worrying about the things that didn't go your way in the past and not spending enough time crossing that bridge in the background, getting the fuck over it, and focusing on the 2 cups that are still standing, that still have something to offer, right? So that means this person has at some point had that moment of realization. There's still opportunities here for me to take advantage of. I'm going to do that. It would appear he maybe thinks there's just the one opportunity, maybe specific to this feminine. With the 9 of Wands, this is somebody who feels like I've gone through the fucking ringer. I have crawled through the tunnel of shit in Shawshank Redemption. I smell awful. I need a shower. I kind of hate things right now, but I also can't stop thinking about this feminine. I also can't stop wondering, what is she doing? Is she thinking of me? Does she still care about me? Okay, I like this. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So if you resonate with the masculine or the energy that is hoping to plan this surprise visit, it would appear Spirit would like you to know that this person is healed. Spirit would also like you to know that approaching this as equals and with respect is the best course of action. You can see here we've got one person with a flashlight kind of shining the light on two people, right? The feminine energy that is the object of obsession here is the person with the flashlight. This person knew what was going on before a lot of other people did. This person knew what was going on and told one of these people, but wasn't believed. That could be the reason why there's ghosting here. I think there was maybe more than one situation that resulted in ghosting. But with the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords in the reverse, I feel like there's clarity, mobility in the sense that somebody feels like they can move, they can do what they need to, they can take action, maybe quite literally move. But there's definitely a situation changing for the better in terms of somebody gaining access to honesty, clarity, and perhaps some forgiveness as well. We'll just finish up here with some everyday tarot. If that's is resonating, go ahead and give me a like or subscribe if you haven't already. And then I think after this one, I'm going to try to prepare for that Black Swan video I said I would make. If you missed my post from a couple of days ago, I watched Black Swan and I was like kind of blown away at the similarities or like overlap between main themes in the movie and what somebody goes through on a spiritual journey or awakening. So themes like codependency, jealousy, attachments, letting go, releasing, boundaries, all of these things. So based off of, I think it was like 8 likes, that's totally enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and make that for you guys. I just have a little bit of prep work to make sure I talk about the main things that I wanted to share with you guys, but I'll do that after this. And then if there are any other weird things like that you guys want me to do in addition to my readings, let me know. I might do it. I don't know. We have Eight of Swords in the reverse out again. Literally, that's what I just pulled from the last deck, right? This is clarifying, though, the High Priestess in the reverse. So I feel like this Eight of Swords situation was closely tied to the perception of the romantic options. Once this masculine realized who the fake was, there was less and less when it came to like a feeling of being restrained. We have the Knight of Cups in the reverse and the Knight of Swords. It's like, what I hear is, I've got to come in. I've got to say something. I just don't know if I can actually say I love you. Like, I know I have those feelings. I know what I want with you. I just don't know how to say the words. I don't know how to make the offer. I don't know how to do the stuff I usually wait for people to chase me down and offer me. But coming in hot. Patience is wearing thin. There's like a sense of urgency here. There may be some information that has come in regarding future plans or competition. But with the Seven of Pentacles, we're talking about somebody here who feels like they want to invest in this situation. They just have to get more comfortable talking about their feelings. What else do we have for Scorpio? We have a hidden message of Nine of Cups in the reverse. If you're new to my channel, that's where it flips over but doesn't fall out, and would suggest that somebody was trying to prevent the masculine from healing his trauma so that he wouldn't feel courageous enough to approach this feminine. I'm pretty confident it's this karmic. Somebody was literally holding back this masculine. Like, no development, stay low vibe, and unhappy. So we have Six of Swords in the reverse and Ace of Cups. So I think this is basically a warning here, Scorpio, that things are going to get a little bit shaky, a little bit tumultuous before we have this Ace of Cups situation. So it kind of feels to me like, yeah, there's a difficult conversation you have to have. Honesty and accountability, and then boundaries. Talk about what you feel, what you want. Get it all out. If you're honest, that Ace of Cups is yours, I think. Free will, right? Everybody's going to make their own choice. But the only way to get to a balance or a solid partnership here is through honest communication of feelings. And that's going to be a challenge for this masculine. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and if you have any recommendations like I asked for earlier, let me know. I love comments. Otherwise, give me a like and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.